Hello, St. Paul's. For some time, our church family has been aware of the needs in First Nations communities. They're dealing with things like poverty, illness, suicide, addiction issues, grief, and loss. And we've been making contact with some of these communities. Members from our church family have gone to visit them. And for a number of years now, we have been participating in a project called Servant Sock. If you've been around, you would know what this is like. We bring in stockings full of good gifts for teens or children. Those are sent to First Nations communities where there's a community event. The teens and children open the stockings, there are games played, and the story of Jesus is shared with them. This year, of course, COVID is changing that. We've been in conversation with some of the leaders from Faith Arise, which is the organization behind Servant Sock. And what they're telling us is that right now, families in particular in First Nations communities are under extreme pressure. You can imagine that on top of all of the other things that they're coping with, they're also dealing with the isolation and stress of COVID. And so right now they're asking if we as a church would be willing to put together family bundles, not stockings for individuals, but bundles for families to help them in this time. If you'd like to be a part of this, there are a couple of things that you can do. First of all, as a small group, maybe you could get together and sponsor a family bundle. This would look like gathering some games, some treats that families can share, things like that. We have a detailed list available for you. And you would bring them into the church for us to send to a First Nations community. If you're interested in doing that as a small group, we do have a few families that have been identified. We'd love to give you some specifics about those. So just reach out to our office with that. If you want to participate as an individual, you can find some of the items on the list, select them, purchase them, bring them in to the church on specific days. I'll tell you more about those, and we'll gather them together in bundles for you. If you're not able to participate by gathering gifts and bringing them in, you can also donate to this project, and we'll have a link for you to do that. When you want to bring your gifts and bundles in, there will be volunteers at the church in the last week of October, October 28th, 29th, and 31st. They'll be here to help pick up your gifts, and they'll package things into bundles. I want to say a special thanks to Val Bruns-Cheeseman, Lori Noakes, and Wendy Reed, who have been the volunteers who have risen up to lead this project for us. So grateful for them. And I'm so grateful to be part of a church family that values so highly service and generosity. I look forward to seeing how we rise into this invitation in this time. Go in peace, St. Paul's.